Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. And in this video, I'm going to be discussing another old school gang that originated in 1966, Chicago. The Maniac Latin Disciples. Hello once again. And I thought of doing this video out of my own curiosity, and which I'm sure that some of you feel the same way. The way I felt about the Spanish Cobras when I was doing my own research on that, and because of my own childhood and what I remembered. I decided to do this one as well. So I'm mainly going to be focusing on how the gang actually originated in Chicago, and to elaborate a little bit more on the founder of it, which is Albert Hitler Hernandez. So here we go. This gang first formed in 1966 Chicago by a group of Puerto Rican kids that, just like I said before with the Spanish Cobras, they were bullied by racist white people and the Caucasian gangs during that time. The Simon City Royals, the Harrison Jets, and the Gaylords. The harassment got so bad that, just like the Spanish Cobras, these Puerto Rican kids banded together and formed their own clique to protect each other and to protect the block. They started off calling themselves the Disciples based on their softball team. And when they started off as a club, the founder, who became leader of the group, changed the name to Latin Disciples. When they finally formed, they called themselves the Latin Disciples, in which Albert Hernandez, which took the name Hitler, started this new gang to fight against the white greaser gangs, the Caucasian gangs. They bullied them so much in their actual neighborhood. They weren't exactly troublemakers as compared to the ones of today. There's a very big difference between the two. The founder, from what I understand, was basically a laid back troublemaker, not a real serious one as the typical street gangs of today. They never really bullied anyone just for the fun of it, pick fights with anybody just for the fun of it. They just protected their own. They really cared about fighting against racism. And for what I understand, if my information is correct, Albert Hernandez actually took part in actually improving the community. He became well known and well liked from a lot of people from the neighborhood. Of course, from his own race. Despite the fact that he also sold drugs during the time when the drugs were actually flowing into the ghettos during the 60s, when the Vietnam War was at its height, and with the protests going on, they just took advantage of it. But they never really looked for trouble. According to Felipe Ortiz, which was one of the members of the Latin Disciples during that time, talked a lot about the gang. It is my opinion that they weren't really serious troublemakers. And I'm pretty sure if any of them were to see that the behavior of the Maniac Latin Disciples of today, I'm pretty sure they would be very disappointed, possibly even angry, and seeing what became of them after so many years. According to eyewitness accounts, a group of Latin kings were walking through the turf or the territory of the Latin Disciples during that time in 1970. Word got to Hitler, to Albert Hernandez, that someone was making trouble close by where they were at. Some Latin kings were harassing somebody, causing trouble. And when they came close to them, as they crossed paths, he noticed there were Latin kings, as they were wearing their colors, the black and gold, the patches and all that. He decided to come up and confront them, basically. And he noticed that following the rules, when you enter another one's turf, you have to remove your colors in order to show respect. The Latin kings didn't do that, which caused them to fight. And during the middle of the fight, Albert Hernandez was stabbed to death. He lay bleeding on the ground as a result of it, which caused a war between the Latin kings and the Maniac Latin Disciples. There's not that much more information that I have concerning this particular gang during that time period. If anyone does, please drop a comment, any questions or anything like that, and try to tell me as much as you know about them, especially the ones that grew up during that time. This is my main focus on the old school Hispanic gangs. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a comment and tell me what you think. And to all of you, take care.